Happy Monday, everyone, and the start of a new week. Welcome to Supercharged Manifesting Monday. We like to call it the Money Day. We like to call it Money Day here in the Money family. Mondays we have renamed, and we kickstart the week together with some high spiritual, I like to call it some spiritual coffee time, very early on a Monday morning. I'm going to wait for you all to join me. And hang on a second, you all went away. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. That's right. Happy. I love it. I love the dollar signs. Happy Monday, the start of a new week. Oh, all of you that are joining, good morning. So we have been doing a 4-part series, The Science of Getting Rich for Entrepreneurial Success. And we've done 2 parts so far. We talked about on part 1, we talked about your purpose and understanding your purpose for wealth, that it is your right to be rich. It's your birthright to have wealth and to have success. That's why you're here, is to succeed and to live life to its fullest. And then last week we talked about, okay, great, it's my birthright, but how can I be guaranteed that wealth is mine? And we started to talk about the law of wealth and some of the things that might be getting in your way when it comes to feeling the confidence that's needed to know, you are here to be wealthy, to experience and to express your version of wealth. And that every single one of us, as long as we have breath, can experience wealth. You can do it. I can do it. Everyone else that we look up to and admire has done it. So can we. Right? So this morning I want to continue the conversation, and yay, I love all the good mornings. This morning I want to continue the conversation with part 3, which is to talk about some of the beliefs that get in your way when it comes to really living this law. So we have this law that says it's ours to have. We can have it, any one of us, anywhere we live, anytime, at any point in our life. We're not too young. We're not too old. We're not too, not living in the right place, all the things that we can think of, and we're going to go through them. So I want to talk about 9 of those beliefs, as well as I promised that we would bring home this conversation about the law of wealth and the foundation of it, what it's made up of. So I just want to say, for everyone that's watching live, happy morning. I love that you're all jumping in and just saying good morning to each other. That's how we roll. I can feel the love from all of you this morning. So the goddesses and I have been doing a book study, and you've probably heard me talk about this on Clubhouse. Anyone that will listen, I've been saying what I'm about to say because it's so true. If you want to model someone's success, what would you say is more important? If you look to someone who has experienced a level of wealth and financial success that you desire, and they're doing it in the way that you want, right? So we know here in the Money family, we're not about the over hustling and over grinding and sacrificing. That's not the way we want to experience and achieve our wealth. So if you see someone who's doing it the way that you want to do it and having the level of success that you desire for yourself, what would you say is more important? Knowing exactly what they did. So did they invest in stocks? Did they do network marketing? Did they, happen to form a company? Did they get a partnership and equity stake in Facebook? Like, what is it that they did? I want to understand exactly what they did. Or is it understanding how they think? What was their level, or what is their level of belief? What would you value more? I want to know the blueprint. I want to know exactly what they did to experience the wealth that they have, or I want to know how they think. I want to understand their level of belief in success and wealth. Which one would you say is more important? Both. Barbara says both. All right. So come on, type. Let me know in the chat. Both would be super helpful. Tracy says, all right, I see how they think. Thoughts equal things. Both. A lot of both coming in. A lot of both. Okay. Jennifer says WWTD. What would Tasha do? Oh my gosh, Jennifer, that made me laugh. What would Tasha do? Okay, I love it. So I see a variety of different answers, and I'm just going to jump in because it supports the conversation that we're going to have this morning. Remember, the law of wealth applies no matter what business you're in, no matter where you live, no matter what it is that you do, you have done, you haven't done, no matter how much money you have or you don't have. It applies under all circumstances. That's why it's a law. It can't be a law if it only works sometimes or it only works in certain conditions, right? So yes, it would be amazing and just insightful to know what did they do. But the thing that's the most important for us to model the success of others is to understand how they think. How do they think? Because it is your thoughts, no matter your circumstances, it is your thoughts that create the kind of wealth that you desire. It's how you think about wealth. And we talked about this on Clubhouse last Thursday. So those of you that can get the recording of that, you can get the replay. You want to go into the Clubhouse and search for Science of Getting Rich Club and find last week's, because we really broke down having you take a moment to look at how do you think about all the different aspects of you creating wealth. Now, if I ask you, how do you think about the fact that you can have wealth? Everyone's going to say, oh, I think I can. Yeah, and I have really great positive thoughts about it. But I really broke it down on Thursday and went into the nooks and crannies of your thoughts. And I really broke it down so you could see, well, maybe I'm not thinking the way I would like to think about wealth, right? There's so many people that messaged me afterwards and they were like, wow, that was very insightful. So I encourage you to go listen to last week's Clubhouse. The recording is only on Clubhouse. It was a Clubhouse room that we did. So here's what I want you to think about. I'm going to share two stories with you this morning. As you know, many of you know, in a former life, it seems like I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. As soon as I figured out that working a corporate job was not going to be my path to the kind of lifestyle that I wanted, I was like, okay, business it is for me. Being a business owner, that's the way, for me. And so in my first business, or back at that stage of my life, I had done all the things. I got a master's degree in finance and international business. I had an undergrad degree in business and I think banking. I went and I excelled in corporate America, climbed the ladder very quickly, went as far as I could. I chose what I considered an incredible guaranteed success business path, which was a franchise business. And a franchise business is, here is a plan of success, just follow it. Oh, I'm great at following things, right? So I followed it to the T. I worked really hard in that business. I sacrificed my time, my financial resources. I did everything by the book. I followed what I would consider the success model to perfection. You know how people go, here is the plan, here's what to do. I got the blueprint on what to do and I followed it to a T. And I ended up filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy anyway. And my life got me into a place that was very dark. And for the time, for the sake of time, I don't want to get into that today, but I know every one of us has been through a valley in our lives. And you can understand when I say, just imagine you've done everything by the book, right? You've done what they said to do and you failed. I filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I'm in extreme financial fear. I'm newly divorced. My husband and his income is gone, right? I've got the 2 kids, a house, the mortgages, everything. I am living financial fear. And what I realize is none of the doing, and I am great at doing. When I tell you I'm a hard worker, I am great at working hard. I'm great at following the models. Like coaches have always said, oh, Tasha, you're so coachable, because I literally do exactly what I'm told, right? And so I had done all the doing, but I realized that none of it was a match for the beliefs that I had. And the beliefs that I had was that I was not good enough. I can remember, here I am, the owner of this franchise business, and I didn't want anyone to know I owned the business. I would tell my staff to tell the people I was the receptionist, because I felt like if they knew me, quite frankly, young black woman in this little tiny town was the owner of this business, it would just, they'd be like, how? You know, they would not want to come back. I mean, I had so many beliefs in my mind about this that is alarming if I were ever to tell you. But it boils down just to that I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think, um, I didn't think that I could achieve the level of success that I wanted without incredible amounts of hard work and sacrifice. And that's just from my upbringing. I didn't think that, that I could really, after a while of being in this business, and so it was a hair salon franchise. I'm not a hairstylist. And so I was like, I'm not going to survive in this business. I don't know how to cut hair. You know, when staff are not showing up and you rely on them to deliver the service, I mean, over time, I just started to believe I can't experience the level of success that I want because I can't even deliver the service. What have I done here? And so it was just limiting belief after limiting belief. And the truth is, even though I got a guaranteed success model, I had so many beliefs that were stronger than all of the hard work I was willing to do, that the results the results that I experienced in that business was just a mirror of the beliefs that I had. And so I just want to share with you this morning I want to share with you this morning, the 9 beliefs that the Science of Getting Rich talks about, and that I have found most people are experiencing one or the other that can be blocking how they want to experience wealth. And it's not just, do you want to be wealthy? It's about, maybe this is blocking how you want to experience wealth, right? So I went to watch Air this weekend, the movie about Michael Jordan's life. And I was like, I left that movie on like cloud 11, because at the end of the movie, in the credits, they share that Michael Jordan ended up, because of one deal, making passive income of $400 million on average a year. Passive income, one deal, right? And so it wasn't that yes, it was a result of his greatness and him playing basketball as incredibly as he did. But the passive income piece is the thing for me. And, when we talk about how you want to experience wealth, I know there are lots of us that are like, I want to figure out the passive piece. But what could be blocking you? Maybe your next thought is, well, I don't do anything as great as Michael Jordan. I'm not a basketball player. I don't have a thing that's as incredible or unique as Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time. There's nothing the greatest of all time in my life that I know of or I'm doing. And so you can see that's an example of how maybe you want to have passive income, but you start thinking thoughts and having beliefs that will limit you from experiencing that. So I'm just going to run through these very quickly. Number one, I do not live in the right environment. I'm not in the right location. I don't live in the right country. I don't live in the right town. I don't live in the right city. I'm a small town. My country is in abject poverty. I live in a third world country. There's so many, like, for example, I'm from Jamaica, and some of the things that people will say is, oh my gosh, Tasha, it's easy for you to say because you live in the US, and here in Jamaica, the exchange rate is 150 to 1. And I'll say, well, there are many a multi-millionaire in Jamaica, and if they can do it, so can you. Anywhere you are, that there's somebody else doing it, so can you. But anyway, I'm going to run through. I just want you to identify, are any of these the limitations that you hold on to when it comes to experiencing wealth, or experiencing wealth in a way that you want to, right? I don't have the right talents or gifts, or I don't have the right team, or I don't have, like, I'm no Michael Jordan. I don't have the greatest of all time of anything, right? I'm not extremely talented at anything. I I I have a lack of opportunity. Tasha, I really want to experience wealth, and I want to experience the massive wealth that you talk about, that you say it's my birthright to have, the easy and relaxed, but there's no opportunity in my life or in my awareness that would allow me to have that. You know, it's just run of the mill stuff. I am just starting a little tiny business, and I don't see any massive opportunities in that line of business. Is that the thing that keeps you stuck in your belief pattern. My level of education. Oh, Tasha, I only have a high school degree. I only have a master's degree. A beautiful woman who's here today, and I'm not going to name any names, messaged me and said she was starting her business, and she said she was in a coaching program with me, and we had a one-on-one call, and she messaged me and she said, and I'm sorry, in this conversation, she said, Tasha, as I'm doing my business, I really feel a little inadequate because I don't have all these degrees. And I found that really interesting. And I said, that's interesting. And she started to tell me about someone else who was doing similar coaching as her, who had a lot of titles, right? To say she was an expert at doing this. And then she turned to me and she said, yeah, because you have so many, you have degrees. And I thought to myself, and I asked her, how do you know what degrees I have? And she said, oh, I went and I looked on LinkedIn. And it was so interesting to me. I said, that's so fascinating. I don't even remember when I put that stuff on LinkedIn. I hardly ever, like today when I told you I have master's degrees, that's not something I ever talk about, because what I don't want anyone caught up in is that you need a certain level of education to experience success. We can name billionaires who dropped out of college, dropped out of high school, and still became extremely wealthy in a way that we admire and put them on a pedestal. So it is not about your level of education. That's just an agreement and a belief that you are holding that may possibly be blocking you. You lack capital. Oh, Tasha, I want to start a business. I want to invest in myself. I want to, I really want to get this thing going. But the ideas that I have, or the thing that I see as needed, is money. You know how they say you have to have money to make money, right? And so I don't have any money. I lack capital. Is that the thing? I really want to do real estate investing, but I don't have enough money to even start. Or I want to invest in stocks and bonds, or I know a really great company that's about to explore. I want to do cryptocurrency, or I want to do whatever it is, but I just don't have the capital that I need. I don't have a good enough credit score. Yeah, that's the other one, right? I need to be in a particular business in order for me to experience a kind of wealth that I want. Is that the thing that's keeping you blocked? It's not that I'm not in the right business. The way I see people be creating wealth, I need to be in a particular business in order to have the kind of wealth that I have. So there's a beautiful woman here this morning who is recently oh, wow, Barbara. Tony Robbins, no college. I didn't know that. There you go. Okay. So there is a beautiful woman who is now in our program, and her and her husband have oh my gosh, I want to say a renovations business. And every couple days she is posting her evidence about, clients just coming from everywhere. And I'm like, look at that. I think of Jackie. I don't know if Jackie is on this morning. Jackie is a seamstress. And Jackie was like, I want to make $1,000 a day when she first came to me. A seamstress. And you could go, well, I'm a seamstress, so there's no way I'm going to make that kind of money. Well, Jackie's practically a multimillionaire in lots of different ways that she's made money at this point, right? Not even just being a seamstress. So are you limiting yourself by thinking, I need it to be in this particular business? I need to have to work really hard. I'm not well enough connected to the right people. Oh, Tasha, my circle, my family, my whatever. I don't know the kinds of people that would expose me to the opportunities for wealth. I'm not connected enough. I I I feel like I have to be thrifty, or I have to save to achieve the kind of wealth. And I'm barely able to make ends meet, so I don't know how I could do that, or I'm just not great at saving. Just is there any of this, or is there anything else? Any other thought that you have that you can identify that is getting in your way? Right? Any other belief that you can identify that's getting in your way. Because what I want to tell you this morning is that these are simply thoughts that you think over and over and over again, and they are actually beliefs that block you. Now, here's the other story. You heard my story about my beliefs and how it led to my failure. I was thinking last night as I was preparing for this about, conversations I've been having with my dad. And As you know, and I would advise you, this is one of the things that I would advise you to do. If you have a family member, a friend, anyone that has experienced a level of wealth and success that you desire, talk to them. Just ask them questions. How did you do it? What were you thinking? You want to know, how did you think? And so I was asking my dad about his life story and, how he created the kind of wealth that he did, especially because he was in a situation where people were fleeing the country for their safety, like running away from everything that they owned, from their grabbing their families if they could, and just get the prime minister of Jamaica said, if you don't want to stay here, Jamaica was about to become communist and everyone was scared of that. He was like, if you don't want to stay here, there are so many planes a day leaving the island, hop on one, go. And people left. They were so scared. They grabbed everything that they did and they left. And my father did not. And I was really curious about that. Why did you stay? And he said his belief. It was his belief. It was his way of thinking. Everyone else was thinking fear and leaving. He thought opportunity. He thought opportunity. And so all of them that were like, oh my gosh, I have this amazing land and I need to get as much money as I can to get out of the country. I'm going to sell it to you at $1 out of $100, like it's worth $100. I'm going to sell it to you for $1. He was like, okay. And he bought as much as he possibly could because he thought opportunity while everyone else thought fear. So you want to understand, how are people, the people that you admire their success, how do they think? How do they think and what beliefs do they have? Um, and so it's just interesting that I remembered that story last night because I want to just inspire all of you to let go of the fears, the limitations, the why it's not, going to happen for you, especially in the way that you want it to, why it's not possible for you, and just step into having beliefs. Here's another one. Helene says, health challenges. I have health challenges. I don't want to go off on a tangent. I think I've said it with all the love in the world. I just want to say that is a limitation that you are agreeing to, right? The law of wealth says, and I promised you last week that I would tell you. So the law of wealth says the foundation of it is that there's something you need to believe, and you need to believe that you have the power and that you have everything to become wealthy already inside of you. The law of wealth says that you have to believe that you have the power and you have everything that is needed already inside of you to become wealthy. Anything else that is required, so you needing to be in the right business, you needing capital, you needing people to network with, you needing the right opportunity, anything else that you need that's going to be required for your wealth is going to come to you. It's all going to fall into place for you. But the part that you have to have for this law, well, remember I said, if you know it, if you understand it, and if you apply it, you are guaranteed wealth and success. What do you have to know? You have to know that you have the power to create wealth within you. You have everything that's needed. And here is, just like we can count on the law of gravity that says, if I throw this apple up, the law of gravity says it's going to come back down. Well, here's the law of wealth. If you have the desire for wealth, if you have the desire to have wealth, not everybody has the desire. If you have the desire, you also have the power. You also have everything that's needed. You will also attract everything that's needed to experience wealth. When you know, understand, and apply that, you ask yourself, do I have the desire for wealth? And remember, wealth is different for all of us, right? But do I have the desire for wealth? The fact that you have the desire is just like how you throw something up and you trust that it's going to come back down. That's the law of wealth. The fact that you have the desire for it is the thing that makes the law work. Desire equals power. Can you all type that? Desire for wealth equals power. The fact that you have the desire. Let's go. I want to see you all type in the fact that I have the desire. Desire for power equals wealth. Desire equals power. There you go, Lisa. That's perfect. Desire equals power. And I just want to read from The Science of Getting Rich, a little section to just show you the law and broken down so you can understand. It says, it is certain that you can do what you want to do. The desire to do it is proof that you have within you the power that can do it. The desire to do it is proof that you have within you the power that can do it. Desire is a manifestation of power. The desire to play music is the power which can play music, seeking expression and development. The desire to invent mechanical devices is the mechanical talent seeking expression and development. So the desire for wealth is the power for wealth, seeking expression and development. That's why you have it. It wants to be expressed through you. Where there is no power, either developed or undeveloped, to do a thing, there is never any desire to do that thing. When you don't, right? So if you don't have the power to do it, you're not going to have the desire for it. Let me say that in layman's terms. If you don't have what it takes, you're not going to have the desire for it. I don't have what it takes to go tornado hunting, to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't have what it takes. So I don't have the desire to do it, right? But I have what it takes to create incredible wealth. So I have the desire to do it. Do you have the desire for wealth? That also means you have everything that is required to express that desire, to bring it to fulfillment. That is the law. That should blow your mind, right? So I just want to remind you of this, and I want to end by saying, where there is a strong desire to do a thing, where you have a strong desire to do a thing, it is certain proof that the power to do it is strong and only requires to be developed and applied in the right way. And that is why I said to you yesterday, I love everyone going, thank you for the reminder. That makes sense. That's really powerful, because it really is. If you have the desire, you have the power. That's what you need to know. That is a law. If you have the desire for wealth, just like the law of gravity, if you throw the apple up, it comes down. If you have the desire for wealth, you have the power, you have the means, you have everything within you. And it's not that you don't have what it takes. It's that you have beliefs about yourself that does not allow that power to be activated. It's as if there were something that could stop the law of gravity from working, right? It would. And if that's the same thing with this law, if there's a thing that could stop it, it's your beliefs. It's what you think. It's how you think about wealth creation. So if you want guaranteed wealth, if you want guaranteed success, then this is the law to understand, to know it like you know it, and to apply it. And it sounds so simple. Just the fact that I have the desire for wealth means I have the power to achieve it. But most people, and I'm just going to be honest with you, it's like my dad's story. It's like me with my business. The people who believe it, the people who understand it, the people who live it and apply it, they are wealthy. They are wealthy. Just go ask them how they think. They're like, this is a law. It's going to work. It's going to work for me. I am going to be wealthy no matter what, period, end of story. I don't know what's going to happen along the way, but I do know I have the desire for it. I have everything that's required within me. It's already within me. I'm in execution mode, right? I'm just getting it done because it's mine. It's already mine. And nothing dismays them. It's like, I have a lot of respect for my dad, and thinking all of his business friends are running. They're like, what are you doing? He's like, no, just go ahead. Sell me your thing. I'm good. Right. I'm good. And who knows? He probably thought, at worst case scenario, the country becomes communist and I don't have anything. But best case scenario, and what I'm going to choose to believe, is that they're all gone and I'm staying in this place that I love and I become wealthy. Right. And so I application is what many of us are missing. Shirley, that is so powerful. It's the application. It is the application that we're missing. It is those moments where you go, am I going to continue to believe that I don't have the power, that I don't have the thing, that I'm not going to do the thing? Am I going to, stay in not taking action? Whatever it is for you, or am I going to just trust and know that there is a law and it guarantees my wealth and guarantees my success? There you go. Mwah. With that, I love you all. Have a wonderful Monday. I'll see you next Thursday for part 4 in this series. I trust that it has served you. There's a lot I said this morning for you to process and think about. I encourage you to probably listen to this again. More importantly, I encourage you to sit with yourself and it's like have a come to yourself conversation. What am I? Why? And let me rephrase that. I don't want you to ask, why do I keep thinking limiting thoughts? Because that's disempowering. What I want you to say is, I'm ready to stop thinking disempowering thoughts. I am ready to take action. I'm ready to just do what I want to do. It's like when I'm running and I start beating myself up for not making my time or my distance, or, I'll stop in the middle of like a timed run and I'll just beat myself up going, why am I stopping? Why do you stop? And I've posted about this. Why are you doing this? Why? And none of that is going to help me at whatsoever. Asking myself why, you know what? Starting to run again, that's what does it. Just start running again. And maybe I stop 30 seconds later, but stopping the run and asking myself and deliberating, why are you stopping the run, Tasha? Why can't you just run? Why can't you run faster? And if I did that for the next 30 minutes, it would just screw up the entire thing. But if I just start running again, right? Just getting back in action. So I don't want you asking, why do I have limiting thoughts? I would rather you just say, I'm ready now. I'm ready. Forget all the reasons why I've not done it. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to take the action. I'm ready to have a different belief. Bye for now, really. Have a wonderful Monday.